Howdy, travelers. Today we're going to be telling you about the land of Oregon country, a pioneer's paradise. Back in the day, the U.S. and Great Britain had a peaceful joint occupation of Oregon. However, when the Lewis and Clark expedition happened, they began to go along the coast of Oregon. This enabled Jediah Smith to find the South Pass, an easier way to get to Oregon. It was a flat and less strenuous path to get there. Man, this new path is so much easier. Since so many Americans wanted to explore Oregon, when President Polk was elected in 1844, he made a treaty with Great Britain that gave America roughly half of the land. My Americans want part of Oregon. Let's create a treaty. Deal. Then, many Americans flocked there with the promise of new land and business opportunities.
A lifestyle that might appeal to you if you want to explore and settle in the western region is the Missionary's Lifestyle. The main reason that the missionaries wanted to come to Oregon country was to convert Native Americans in the area to Christianity. Little did they know, though, that there was a long and strenuous journey ahead of them. From the steepest of mountains to the uneven, rocky territory, about half of the missionary population died. When the other lucky half had finally reached the pioneer's paradise, they ultimately failed to convert the Indians while bringing a plethora of diseases along with them.
What the heck?
The whole reason this expedition was made in the first place is because of the Nez Perce tribe having great relations with Americans, and especially the Spaldings. The Spaldings baptized and converted a few Indians, but not enough to consider it a success. The Whitmans, which are another missionary group, worked with the Cayuse tribe and tried to convert them, but utterly failed.
No!
The missionaries did stay in Oregon country despite the failure and settled amongst the Nez Perce and Cayuse. The life of a missionary brings a lot of excitement and some risk too. If you are an adventurous and determined person, the missionary lifestyle is perfect for you.
If the fact that so many Americans wanted to explore Oregon doesn't convince you to settle there, let me explain some lifestyle choices that might. The main reason that the mountain men explored Oregon was to find beaver fur. At the time, beaver fur was considered to be more valuable than gold.
I'm better than you. Yippee!
Many also wanted a new, interesting life, as they dreaded their boring life at home. However, getting to Oregon wasn't easy. The mountain men caught diseases, faced animal attacks, had dangerous territory to cross, and encountered Native Americans who were not very friendly. Many young mountain men also died to hunters and thieves along the journey. Even though the mountain men never actually permanently settled anywhere, they still left many legacies behind. The mountain men left their famous journals, which shared their stories of their travels, and the two trails towards the west. These were the California Trail and the Oregon Trail. A famous person named Jim Beckworth should also be remembered because he was captured by people because he was black, and they thought he was a long-lost Indian son. That about wraps up the story of how the mountain men explored Oregon country. If you enjoy pursuing a life of adventure, adrenaline, and constant fun, you should definitely consider pursuing the life of a mountain man in Oregon country.
Score! Another lifestyle that led to explore. Explorers wanted to explore the West in Oregon to find the Northwest Passage, a mythical water path that went from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. They also wanted to make positive relations with Native Americans. Sacagawea, a Native American, helped the explorers on the Lewis and Clark expedition and guided them to the West. This is an example of them making peaceful and friendly contact with Native Americans. This was a very treacherous and hard trip to make. These explorers faced many obstacles which made this trip very hard, like disease, bears, mosquitoes, and lots more geological hardships. These explorers left behind some important legacies too. The main one was that they mapped a route to the West Coast. They also opened up the opportunity for settlers to move to the West Coast. If you are an adventurous person that wants to discover new things, maybe this lifestyle would be a good idea.
Are you a woman looking for higher status and a husband? Do you think the people in the West need some women to lead them? Well, then follow the lead of Biddy Mason and become a pioneer woman. Biddy was born as a slave, but she became a landowner and prominent citizen in LA. She even has the right to vote. She helped set up churches, libraries, and schools in the West. Some say the journey to the West is too dangerous, filled with cramped spaces, stampedes, and such a long journey. Most doubt that women can stand the move to the West. However, if you want to prove them wrong, come and join the pioneer woman as we travel west.
In summary, you can see that settling in Oregon country is pretty much a no-brainer. Even if the lifestyles of the missionaries, mountain men, explorers, or pioneer women don't suit you, I can guarantee that something else in Oregon will. Come to Oregon country if you seek any imaginable new opportunities. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Come to Oregon!